Hello, tonight, greetings. Welcome to another BMBBH. This is Kev, and guess what? Saturday night. Weather's supposed to be fucked up down here tomorrow, so we shall see. But anyway, thanks for coming through tonight. Thanks for coming through. With all intents and purposes, as you walk in, please do hit that like button. And if it's your first time at this channel, of course, I'm asking you to do yourself a favor and go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We are brutally honest here. I do expect that from whoever decides to participate in the chat and from the moderators as well, because there are things that we have to discuss here, and I have to be as close to reality as possible here. That I'm not, and you should not ever be here to kiss anyone's ass, and I'm not here to do that either. We have to, like I said, we have to come as close to the reality of the situation as possible. Now, I'm gonna have to get a better GIF for the background. I don't know. Does anybody know any like better editing programs I can use for GIF? Because I hate the little split second stop. I like a constant flow. But yeah, that's my first attempt in finding out the full capabilities of StreamYard. But StreamYard is a very limited app. It really is. There are better streaming apps, but StreamYard is the most user friendly, and it is. I'm gonna just have to say is the easiest one to use. If you have some type of savvy with a keyboard at least. So please be mindful of the message that is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It includes the topic, some suggestions. It also has my Cash App, at Cash App, $ BMBBH for life. Fair use on anything that I decide to use, but really I'm just talking, and this is for edutainment purposes only. You can choose to take something from it if you want to, excuse me, or you can just listen and then, listen to tomorrow night's broadcast and the one after that. So, yeah, so I do enjoy doing this type of thing. But the topic for tonight is internalized WS. You fell for it. And Petway boy, what's going on? Not. It's okay. It's okay that you fell for it, because I fell for it at one time too. And I'm not talking about who straight black men are sexually attracted to. So this ain't something to shame you or dick police you because you decided that you wanted to have a non-black female at your side instead of a black female. It's something I can't blame you for in this day and age, especially the way a lot of these women on social media represent themselves and rep for the black man. Now, that doesn't mean that's all of them, but let's just face it, there's too much of that shit out there to ignore at this point. Uh, but I hear these terms on social media, and I do understand that they are just social media terms, so I can offer somewhat of my take on it. And I also think about, and not too proud to admit, that there's some people out there that may have a better take than me. But for right now, on this broadcast, I don't believe that person exists. See, you have to look at yourself as a black person, and you got to be super confident in yourself, because you got to understand that the world sees you as all, and I hate to, no, I don't. Let's be brutally honest. The world sees you as a piece of dog shit at this point. And and a lot of that is because of internalized WS over here in the diaspora, the American diaspora part. I mean, seriously. It's something that we were born in. It was something that we were taught, hammered into us. But for many of us, and probably in fact, I would say for all of us, we came to that crossroads. We had to decide that if we were going to make that internalized WS a way of life, or we are going to decide to basically drop it and leave that part of the matrix. And to the ones that decided to leave the matrix, my hat's off to you. But there's a lot of people that decided they wanted to go the other way. And since we're talking about social media, I see it all the time on social media. Open up Facebook, scroll down your timeline. Cortez Smith, what's going on? Open up Twitter, Black Twitter, scroll down your timeline. I'm starting to see a lot of it on Instagram because, I get a lot of black pages in my algorithm. And you're starting to see it more and more. I don't get it because I don't know. I had my whole civil rights lesson when I was younger, like in middle school. I mean, I think I mentioned the research paper I did before they got 100A when the teacher didn't want us to do a report on the civil rights movement. I said I was doing the civil rights movement anyway. She didn't want it because she didn't want it to be loaded with "I have a dream," Dr. King, blah blah blah. I believe she didn't want to tell it to us like that, but she was like, "Yeah, it's such a basic topic to the point where if that's all you're gonna say, then we don't need to do it." Now, thinking about it, I was in a predominantly black Catholic school ran by a white principal with black teachers. Let me see, I had a couple of white teachers. Yeah, I did, but they were all black women and one black man. The black man was in eighth grade though, the highest in middle school at the time. Um, the highest grade in middle school at the time. Um, so it was seventh grade, and I just blatantly said I'm going to do it on the civil rights movement. But I gave a different take on it. I gave a more realistic, deep research take on it. Found out that some things just weren't what they seemed. Although the media presented it one way, it happened a whole nother way. You know. Now I'm not here to just throw the civil rights movement on you, but I understood at that point was there was always going to be a difference between us and them. It's just that I got more of an organized version of that. There was a public school right across the street. Them kids were fucked up. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. They were fucked up. They came over there to start shit with us at the Catholic school, even though we didn't go over there to start any shit with them. Because they felt as if just because we were wearing uniforms, that our parents cut our hair, made us take care of ourselves, cut our nails and shit, stuff like that. Wash our hands, iron our clothes, have us fresh smelling in uniform because we wore uniforms. We didn't wear regular stuff, like t-shirts and jeans. That's what they did at the public school. I mean, they could do that. I mean, we actually, as a private school student, I envy that about public schools. Them being able to have the ability to wear their regular clothes instead of wearing this little corny uniform that I had to wear every day. But I mean, I understood after a while that it gave us as a school a uniqueness, and it gave me the feeling that I was in a institution of education, which I believe is the psychological part of having to wear a uniform. You have to present some type of order. But getting back to, okay, You had a like. In fact, it was all black kids. I think I ran. I mean, I was a little bad kid. I think I ran the last of the white kids out of the school. I mean, that's nothing malicious toward any other groups. You have to say that in 2022, with this sensitive ass climate, you know. But we went from a predominantly black school when I was in first and second grade to an all black school. We still had a couple of white teachers, a white principal, but we still had to make up, black teachers for the most part from first to, and there was one teacher in each grade. It was one first grade teacher, one second grade teacher, one third grade teacher, up until the eighth grade. We had a librarian, black lady, Mrs. Humphreys, real nice lady. But she was very realistic with us too, which I appreciate her forever for that. But there was always this little difference in the way, like it for me, it was everywhere. I was a smaller kid, so it made me an easy target. Let's just say I had to fight quite a bit. I would say that. But I've noticed one thing when those kids came, like some of those kids lived in the neighborhood behind the school. So what they would do, they would walk through the school grounds. So I ran into a couple of them my age. They immediately treated me like I thought I was some special shit. I was just walking. I was minding my goddamn business. I was trying to get to the front so I could wait on my mother to come pick me up. All of a sudden, I encountered two kids from the public school who had a predisposition about me already. Didn't know me from a can of paint. Didn't even know my damn name. Decided that they were going to berate me and try to bully me. I was ready for both of them. They didn't pull a, they they didn't swing one time. All they did was talk shit. But they said a couple of interesting things. Something to the effect of I want it to be white. I ain't know what the fuck that meant. Like at all. This is me at 9 years old. I'm looking at myself like, huh? The fuck is wrong with you? And yes, I was using swear words at 9 years old. That doesn't mean I had bad parents. It's just that I was so enamored by the forbiddenness of using swear words. So basically, I was like, "Hey, well, look at you. Fuck you. Comb your fucking hair." Those level snarky remarks at that age. I know I can't really get you guys to believe me because black people have to prove shit over and over again to other black people. But we'll get to that in a minute. But it was just a whole thing that just because you went to this school and I went to this school over here, which my parents had to use their hard-earned money to pay the tuition because it's a private school. Public school, you don't have to pay, but that comes with public school issues. Oh, over in my neck of the woods, we thought that those kids were tougher. And a lot of us would have rather went to public school than to private school to be because it seemed like it was such, pampering or whatever. I mean, we fought pretty much up until, later in my school career when they made the rule if you fought, you got expelled. Because this thing started to happen where kids were getting killed because, they were getting into fights. Not at particularly at the private school, but it was something that started to pick up steam. I understood at a very early age that there were certain blacks that just didn't appreciate other blacks. It was sad for me to learn it that early. I mean, it went on from like 9 on up. I saw different versions of it. Like in junior high. In junior high, the lighter skinned people. And I don't like, oh God, I hate the colorism topic because I feel like it's It's stupid. I feel like if you're black, you're black, and you just should just leave it at that. It's not because of your skin. It's probably for your fucking attitude. That's my whole opinion on colorism. I mean, and I'm saying this as a dark skinned black. That when black folks start throwing insults at you, and I'm talking about with light skin have their own little category, but it's like the second people start to insult you and go for the way you look, it'd be all of your predominantly black features that they go for. That's that internalized WS right there. To target blackness from the fucking jump. But in junior high, the lighter skinned kids, what did there? I ain't gonna lie. It was a kid. It was a kid in my class that looked as if he was almost Caucasian, but we knew he wasn't. We called him white boy, but he was immediately elevated to one of the cool kids. Period. You know, but that's just what it was. Then I also noticed we had a transfer. They stayed there for about 3 weeks. It was a white kid, white dude. We immediately gravitated toward that person. I mean, the person was nice. Hell, in fact, nicer than the ones that were already around you that were black. But, you know, I was one of the few that understood that was a problem. But you can't tell us anything. High school. It might have been like in the marching band because I spoke a certain way. Like I was a trumpet player, I like jazz music. I like listening to black marching bands. The black marching bands are really upbeat. It was really fun to participate in. But as children, I guess based on economic status or just basically what we perceived as economic status, there was still separation. See, this is what it is. We went through all this stuff with racism and Jim Crow, and when black people finally got together in a place where we could congregate, we remembered none of that shit. We remembered none of that shit, none of that struggle, none of what we went through as a people. We started separating ourselves. Period. There was always separation. Yeah, but yet you got skinny white kid who's a drummer, and nobody fucked with him. No one. No one fucked with him the way they fucked with the other black kids. Cause he was a drummer. He was accepted by guys that were deep hood. I mean deep hood. Like them guys that thought they were badass, around other, smaller black kids or, just guys who would much rather play a video game than be out there trying to sell their first dime bag of weed. I'm keeping it real as fucking possible. You call people like me self haters for talking about this, but when we start talking about our real world experiences, then y'all start saying dumbass shit. But this is just how it was. One white kid walks in, he gets accepted. Shit, a couple years later, group of brothers. They were actual brothers, but all of them looked different. So it doesn't take much, discernment to figure out what happened there. There in the ROTC, there was a kid in there that didn't bother anyone. They called him Urkel because he wore glasses. Basically, he was what you would call the archetypal, nerdy kid. Those brothers jumped on that kid and beat the shit out of him. Their reasoning was they just didn't like him. The kid didn't provoke him, did nothing. They looked at him and they just did not like him. Same band of brothers hung out with the white kid at the school that acted black. It's like, wow, this was 1994. Now I'm showing my age. So all these little problems with this internalized WS that y'all see, this shit is not new. It's been in existence. It's been in existence since the abolishment, even before the abolishment of slavery. You had them slaves that loved master. So, I mean, shit, there was all kinds of possibilities. I mean, we weren't there for 'em. And I did feel as if one like getting back to that part that I talked about, that part in my life that I had to decide, that everyone has to decide, that whether they're going to go one way or they're going to go the other way. I mean, I'm it's getting up. I'm getting up in ages as every it's like I would notice this at little jobs I worked at. How much black people being around each other, there was always this infighting and dissension. But when a person from an outside group come and smile and act like they know a couple of rap lyrics, here it goes with this bullshit. I never liked that. I'm sorry. Because I knew anytime that person can flip, they will flip on you. And I've seen it of quite a few times. Shoot. Shit. I mean, shit, y'all. Like, this internalized WS got these females believing that the white dudes actually treat their women better. That is not reality at all. And I'm not trying to scare you ladies. It's just that I've hung out with all kinds of people. I hung out with all of them: white folks, black folks, even a couple of Asians. Cool people for the most part, but they were very realistic. I'm speaking more from a realistic aspect. Y'all act like these folks are so fucking perfect. They're not. They are not. And then y'all act like they're just like fresh sliced fucking bread. Shit. And in a lot of cases, they're even worse. Shit. They do those other drugs. I really laugh when black people have problems with other black people smoking marijuana. That is the biggest fucking joke. Like, seriously, because I've seen real drug use. I was offered those hard drugs. I was like, no, because I don't believe acid is a drug for a black person. I don't. I don't want to fucking hallucinate. I don't want to see things move that should not be moving. Because that's exactly what them white boys used to claim. They used to do LSD, and then they just like, man, remember, man, when we gave acid to that cat, man? He was like, you ain't finna, you ain't finna do me like this. This was much younger days. These were my much younger days, because y'all act like 45 is senior citizen. So shit, I had no desire after hanging out with them. I had no desire to be anything like them. I mean, for real, no desire. If you hang out with enough of them, you had like, well, I don't, you wouldn't see, you wouldn't see how these motherfuckers on these goddamn social media streets will sit there and big up to the almighty, all powerful, ever conquering white man. No, them some nasty motherfuckers, and they are terrified of you as a black person. And that's not because of some kind of just I don't know, just a fear of letting you have something. No, that's ingrained in them. And I know some of you act like y'all don't want to accept that. Oh, the white man conquered everything. No, he's not even conquered in his. He's not even a conqueror in his own mind. Have any kind of size on you as a black man, trust me, you'll get some undue respect. But you have this internalized WS that have you believing that they are better than you. Hey, so what I'm basically trying to say, what I'm trying to say to black men in particular, is that you're not defeated, man. You're not. You're not. I mean, so what if you didn't have a father that didn't have some kind of six-figure corporate job waiting on you? So what? So what? So what? It was always your opportunity to go into a direction that you felt free and clear with. See, this is what we have to get away from. We have to get away from the basic layout that a lot of our boomer parents gave us, or I mean, for some of us silent generation parents, that there was this basic layout that you had to follow. At the end of the day, you're getting a piece of what making the people you're working for so successful. So what if that white dude over there had a father that left him a huge trust fund, continuing generational wealth. That's not being like, that's doing for your family. And yes, there's a lot of black men that have figured out how to do that for their families. There quite frankly aren't enough, because the way some of you complain, not yeah, I mean, we are in a position where we have to build for ourselves as black men. Period. That's a fact. And everyone that acts like they're a fucking intellect on this platform should already know the bad hand that was dealt to black people. Period. Now that includes the men and women and the children. You know, we understand our plight as black men. We have no one on our side. Period. I had a discussion with a young lady earlier. I'm not going to tell you her name because she's a big YouTuber. But, she's calling uh, basically, well, in the literal sense, she's calling black women who carry black men mammies and pygmishas and all that. What she means by carry is, okay, the women who decide not to go against a black man or to not acknowledge a gender war. The women that actually say we kind of need to stick by each other, or say things like, black men, we love you. They call that mammies and pygmishas. And my whole view on that is, so black men and black women are just supposed to fight, huh? That's my view. Can't even work together as a co-op. They're just supposed to fucking fight, and that's it. That's your view. That is what you've come up with as a fucking person. That black men and black women are supposed to fight. They're supposed to be at odds. They're supposed to be in this gender war. Because if a black woman does not oppose a black man, socially in public, then she's a mammy or a pick Misha. Yes, and we got those brothers out there that call other brothers simps. But here's the thing, I call the guys simps that are very attacky. There's a certain YouTuber that gets called a simp because he always attacks black men and says he loves black women. He shows his love for black women by attacking black men. One thing I notice about these mammies and these pick mishas that these women talk about is the fact that they will have messages saying they love black men without attacking black women. I'm sure that there's other people that have noticed certain things. Oh, shout out to Cortez Smith, Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power, Raven Knight. I saw Raven Knight. Dave Tao. Hey, when these little Russian trolls or whatever with these strange names come in, just block them from the channel. Just go ahead and hide them from the channel. I'm not putting up with that. Um, yeah, but the idea that you are just supposed to oppose, be adversarial toward black men on social media, because whether y'all like it or not, if you're saying that black men are making money off bashing black women, that is a projection, and that is a projection that has been used for years and it's old, and people are acting like it's new. No, it's not new. There are black women and black men that are profiting off of at the expense of the dignity of black men. And a lot of black men aren't fighting this. What's up, brothers? Is that internalized WS telling you you're not good enough? That you're not even good enough to defend yourself and to think even more of yourself? Fuck all of that shit, man. That's what I'm saying. I decided like, like. Here's the thing: when a person tells me that I talk like a white boy, I completely discard them as having any kind of common sense, like, or any kind of discussion or decorum, or any chance for intelligence. It is that crucial with me. Once you make a decision to be that mentally removed, then there is not much I can say to you. And I'm sure there's not much you want to say to me. And that's a fucking relief for me. That is really a relief. I don't have to be bothered with too many stupid people, I would say, without being too mean about it. You can't be so proud to the point where you believe that you can say things like you're black, you love being black, you hate racism, and then the second something black comes up or somebody tries to tell you something and they happen to be black, you treat it as it counts a lot less. That's pretty much 95% of us. The 95% of us in the past that and I've said that I don't like. I mean, there's not very many people because of this mentality, this internalized WS, because a lot of y'all know what y'all doing. A lot of y'all know what y'all doing. A lot of y'all have this mentality: the white man's ice is always colder. I hate that saying. But when you really think about it, yeah. And it's not because it's colder because it's colder. Is that we as a people, by the time we realized how screwed over we weren't making the necessary adjustments to make sure our ice was cold as fuck as well. Bell Hooks, resting in P dot 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 dot, made money off lying on black men. Yes, she did. Most of your famous writers made money off lying on black men. And then these are the women that have all these places in black history. Excluding women like Mary McLeod Bethune. She actually did something. You know, but women like Bell Hooks. I mean, she did recently pass, but yeah, yeah, she said quite a few things that I didn't agree with. And I mean, like, it's always these little bullshit attacks on black men that nobody believes exist. Why is it that you get all these weirdos and people like that who get to say whatever they want? But now that the black manosphere is saying something, now it's a fucking problem because of that internalized WS. The belief that shutting up and not doing a damn thing is what's best for blacks. I don't get to decide what happens with the collective. You have to decide this for yourself. But since y'all hang out in so many effed up spots, then these discussions need to be had. Do you believe that white is better? Do you believe that the white man's ice is colder? Do you believe, as if you're a female, that you have access to generational wealth if you decide to screw some white guy? A lot of you more hood guys, why are you so accepting of white men and so nice to white men that come in and disparage and will disparage a black man? I've seen it before. I've experienced it. There are hood dudes that claim they own that black shit that will help white people disparage another black man. This problem is much bigger than you think. And y'all talking about, I don't blame the white man. I don't blame the white man. I seen a pro black on a panel. I seen a pro black on a panel with an obvious white male worshiper. They call themselves a conservative, but that's not conservative. That's white man worshiping. This person actually took up for Gregory and Travis McMichael, and yes, she was a female. And yes, she was a person of color, I would say. Because that's what she is at that point. And she calls the black community Blackistan. Pro black sitting on the panel with her. All pro black just got through saying black power, everything black is awesome. I mean, for real. Literally. And sat on a panel with that person and said, well, I ain't here to blame the white man. Which no one brought up on that panel. Just felt the need to throw it out there, even though this person was all black, black, blackety black. See, I said, man, you guys are a joke to me. Oh yeah, I'm doing a reaction video on that too, so I'm gonna put it out in the next couple days. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna try not to, you know, run this guy down too much. Because I mean, if that's pro black, then pro black is a lie, a complete lie. I couldn't believe what I heard. I don't know. I'm not even gonna give this guy the benefit of a doubt. I don't think he was that all that nervous. I think he was just frightened, frightened like the kitten that they say they try to make fun of. So take that how you want. I mean, you're not allowed to lie about your resolve for being black, especially when an earshot of me. Some of you in your lives decided to go the other way. Remember that point I was talking about earlier? Well, for those of you that are just getting here, I will say I've said this a couple times. There's a point in your life. Okay, we're all raised and indoctrinated in WS. Now, someone can type it in the chat if they finally figured out what WS is. But there's going to be at one point in your life where you're going to decide whether you're going to stick with the WS mindset or you're going to go the other way. The other way doesn't necessarily mean I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, pro blackity, blackity, black. No, it doesn't. That's not what I'm talking about with the other way. But it's the opposite of accepting your indoctrination to WS. Think of it that way. Maybe it's your version of going away from WS. Question. Question. This is off topic. All right. If heaven was real, what would be your version of heaven? And if heaven was the same spot for everybody, would it be heaven for everyone? Okay, think about that. You can put it in the comment section after the video. You ain't got to do it now. That might be too much of a question. That might be too much of a deep question for some of y'all. Just something I always thought of, for the past 30, 35 years maybe. Yeah, black man. Internalized WS is always going to be your problem. Because a lot of us brothers decided to go the other way. A lot of us here in the space, and a lot of more, a lot of other brothers that are out there that are not necessarily a part of this space, because the space still got some growing to do. I wish Peter Frank would come in here and say some stupid shit, but hey, you know what? I said do it brutally honest. But yeah, there's a lot of people that decide to go the other way. I'm not saying that if you are a Republican voter or you are a conservative, they got now a lot of aspects of conservatism does work in tandem with WS, but like those aspects, can be acknowledged by people who are real conservatives. I'll say. So for the people who are liberals, why are you so mad at conservatives when you have this sense of supremacy yourself? I would say liberalism got WS all the way through that shit. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why liberalism has WS all the way through it. Because, excuse me, liberalism actually has you putting blackness in the back of the line. A lot of us co-sign the liberalism because we think that, the liberalism is associated with the Democrats. The Democrats are the good guys. The Republicans are the bad guys. Blah blah blah. And Republicans and these races, they do some crazy shit that we can all acknowledge. But the left wing and the right wing is the same bird. Literally, you have to understand that. You have to understand that. You have this romanticized idea that you can, if you choose your system of oppression, that is going to be better than the other system of oppression. What I'm trying to get people to see is we don't have to co-sign any of that. But the people who sign up for liberalism, they really treat black people like, yeah, you're now like, and these are black folks too. They put black causes in the back of the line. So to me, neither one of them is better than the other. I mean, you just have to convince. Like, I would love for someone to try to convince me that maybe conservatism is the way. I mean, I got an open ear just based on the way I was treated by all parties involved. Hey, let me put it to you like this: for a liberal Democratic voter in 2022 is more likely to try to treat me like an idiot than a black conservative in 2022. That is something that is not up for debate. That's something that's not up for debate. That's not. You can't even begin to debate that with me. Because I said earlier in the broadcast, I'm not a kiss ass. I'm not gonna kiss your ass if you're rude to me. You can go fuck yourself, and that goes for anyone. I always hear internalized WS in terms of black men who speak freely in black male spaces. This is why I decided to do a broadcast on it because I've seen a lot of internalized WS. But see, y'all don't act. Y'all act like it ain't WS. You act like it's just normal ass shit, a normal way of life, and it might be for some of you. I see it everywhere. I see it out. I see it when we interact with each other in public. Be in any crowd of black people and a white person come around. It's anywhere from uncomfortability to acceptance. You as a black person will never be able to walk amongst them and have widespread acceptance. But a lot of you will try. A lot of you will. A lot of you, it would just, it would just, it would be so obvious. Like I said, I've seen the hardest of these little hood dudes get break and become soft cream puffs when they're in a crowd of white folks. Hey, how you doing? I was like, oh, you're weird. I hate you. I would literally tell that person that I fucking hate you. And it's not because they did that. It's because of the attitude that they had toward other black people. I mean, y'all don't know the deep accent aspects of pro-blackness. All this shit you see on social media is fake. It's for show. It's virtue signaling. And those motherfuckers ought to be ashamed of themselves. Period. No, I don't believe in this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I don't believe in the social media definition of pro-blackness because it's internalized WS. If you cut out one group of black people, you're no good. Period. I mean, I know that there are brothers that have no desire to be with black women. Period. I get that. Doesn't mean you can't help the community. Some dudes that are married to white women are more of a benefit to the community than a lot of dudes that are married to black women. That's the truth. When you start to look at tangibles, yeah, that's the truth. Running your goddamn mouth ain't enough. I mean, y'all do say that about the black manosphere, right? I mean, y'all. I mean, there's valuable information in this space, but that's one of the first things you Negroes say. I seen a guy make a Facebook post earlier. Oh, the most successful YouTubers are white. Oh, you fake gurus. Oh, you fake black gurus. Leave the dating coaches alone. I mean, they're hilarious, but shit, there are actually guys that are taking those guys seriously. What you gonna do? Treat them like they stupid just because you have your little stupid opinion, and I have my little stupid opinion because I think dating coaches are hilarious and unnecessary. I believe that myself, but hey, you know what? I'm not gonna go on a rant about a dating coach every few fucking days, every few hours. I got better shit to do. I mean, they're hilarious. Now, I do have some of the thing with one of them because what they do is they do little sly shit like attack the space all the goddamn time in other spaces that don't have the interest of the space in mind. I don't like that. Be a man. That's my message to that guy. You know, if you think that these guys are nothing over here, come prove that they're nothing. Shit. All it takes is a discussion. But you know what? Because of that internalized WS, no one wants to have a sensible fucking conversation. No one. Period. Just want to throw your little softball shots. Yeah, yeah. I can understand that. We as a community have quite a few issues, and it's almost beyond hope. For many of you, it is beyond hope. For many of you, I can't blame you. But for those that screaming to the top of their lungs about it, even though they say that, oh, I've already gone, why don't you just leave? And that's not necessarily for a completely bad reason. The reason why I say this is because I believe a lot of you are just playing hard. I think you just actually care. You just don't know how to say it. Well, let me say it for you. Fuck this place. Hey, I'm sorry. Adults are just gonna have to be fucking adults and decide they want this shit. Period. And stop being mad at the people who still have hope. How stupid is that? There ain't no hope for this goddamn community. And you know why? It's because of people like that. People who fake pro black. People who keep coming back and telling everyone else there's no hope. So, yeah, let's go ahead and have the balls or the spine if you have a vagina and say fuck this place for real. I'm talking to the divestors. I'm talking to these little slow tips playing pro black. And if you think it's you, it might be you. I gotta say it like that. I gotta say it like that because I mean I don't want you to skip over anything I've said because I did also clear as day say I understand some of you. Yeah, I mean what I want is indifferent to what is best, meaning that I'm just one motherfucking person. It has to be a collective effort. If you don't want it, it won't happen. But I will never say anything like heal or die and be a fake ass nigga about it. I would never do that to you guys. We all have our reasoning. We all do. I'm not trying to force you to stay because there's a lot of internalized WS among the people that say they want to stay. And it comes out every fucking day. It comes out every fucking day. When you shit on the smart kid, the smart black man, and call him an educated lame. Yeah. That's internalized WS. You can't just sit up there and fuck with black men and make black men your main target and act like it's not WS. And I know some of you are saying, what about black women? What about how you treat black women? I appreciate some of the sisters. I'll say that. I appreciate the ones that stick by us, that act mature, and act like they got some common goddamn sense. You know. But there has to be more. We have to see. I have to see more from the sisters because y'all letting too much shit get by with these little hateful ass little monkey motherfuckers. Like these trash bitches. I mean the whole Asian doll thing, the Cynthia G thing is just wow. I can't begin to tell you. Shit, it's just we gonna have to discuss the sisters at some other point. But it's like, I can't answer that for you because there are so many sisters that echo that WS sentiment, and it's sad for me to say. Maybe you think that's some internalized WS with me. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck at all. But all things considered, the core, stronger representation of what I see from the females is entrenched WS. There are a few sisters that I would roll with, but not very many. And I'm stuck raising a child, a female, and trying to get rid of the possibility that she could turn out like one of them. Like I believe my eyes are more open and I'm way more assertive than my predecessors. So I believe my daughter would be okay. I mean, I got an uncle that handed his finances over to his wife, and the most she did was like 6 months at Walmart 10 years ago. I'm like this: if you are a man and you're paying for everything, and you let your woman have control of the finances, you are a blue pill ass weak dude. She demanded it. No, no, nobody give a fuck about that, dude. Come on now, you're crazy. So I understand. I understand. Like a lot of these guys in this space, they have a problem with the older dudes because they saw a lot of that shit in their family, and they come in and project it on the people in this space. I'm just gonna tell you what it is. Yeah, a lot of our predecessors were blue pill. They tried to speak weakness into us, and the reaction is spaces like these. I mean, a lot of y'all don't want to look at it that way, of course. And to each his own as far as opinions. Opinions are assholes. Everybody got one. But at the same time, to offhand put up resistance to it and spew all this crap that you can't prove, yeah, that's internalized WS. To try to act like it's something wrong with a certain group of men speaking. Raven Knight, make sure you keep her away from having ratchet friends, Kev, because that's how it start. That's how it spreads. Okay, here's the thing, and I get it when y'all say stuff like that. Um, I have to increase her strength, not make her a strong woman, a strong independent woman. I don't want that. Sometimes our kids become things that we don't want them to become. You know, but what I want her to do is I want her to take her own position, be strong enough to take her own position, and the results of taking certain, having certain kinds of attitudes. Because I'm sleeping it in every now and again. It's not like she's still very, very young, so she's not going to receive everything like that, you know. But, it just, I have to treat her accordingly. When she does something nice, kind of reward her a little bit. Not, it doesn't always have to be material, but it's, the way I treat her. If she does something that, obviously is bad, treat her accordingly. I don't really whoop my child. I just kind of give a stern, very, you know, If she thinks I'm angry, she breaks down. That's all I really need. Yeah, but yeah, don't let her have ratchet friends. You're absolutely correct about that. Or they know that, oh, Mr. Astor don't play. Well, anyway, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this monologue because it's definitely have been an hour since I've started this broadcast. Um, Look at that. Hurry up and buy. What's going on? Yeah, appreciate you guys for showing up. Yeah, so basically, internalized whiteness. Oh shit, I said whiteness. Internalized WS because that's basically what it is. I've said this one thing. I said this one thing, and I think that this is what we face a lot as black men, especially the ones that frequent black male spaces. And yes, a lot of the vitriol is coming from both genders. WS culture dictates that the black man gets no respect, that the black man has no position, and that it is okay to disrespect the black man. Period. Because the power structure, like, mainstream media, is not protecting the black man at all. It's not. It's not protecting the black man. Anyone can say anything they want about you, and there's no consequence. Period. The heterosexual black man, you can say anything you want. You can build entire YouTube channels, entire publications. You can put it under the guise of, I don't know, feminism, or, there are even organizations that call themselves black organizations, but they are covert alphabet organizations. You can build off of, you can make a lot of money. The most famous example is Oprah Winfrey, just off vitriol against black men. We are the only group of people that are like that. You can't even say that about black women. Look at the recent Fresh and Fit fiasco. A ratchet, horrible one. Because, they always say all of us are not like that, but that particular one was. Went on with the intent of disrespect. And the best a lot of brothers could do was call it a shit test. So don't tell me that they are in that design to. No, they're not. And, any other group, think of any other group of people that does not face scrutiny. Well, they kind of pushing around straight white males, but that's only going to go so far. They're straight, and then I'm not going to even say that they go through a whole lot because the judicial system still has them. And I'm not even asking for the protection. I'm not even asking for it. I'm not even asking for fairness. I'm not asking for that either. What I'm asking black men to do is you need to learn how to protect yourself. You need to learn how to stand up for yourself. Because ain't no one coming for you. WS culture dictates that you do not have to respect the black man. WS culture in 2022. It's been like that for quite a few years. There's no repercussion for humiliating you. There's no repercussion for dragging you all across the media. There are plenty of people who have made money just basically off disparaging black men, especially in areas like relationships. No one's coming for you. No one is here to save you. See, the problem with that is we're the muscle. We're the muscle. And A lot of us with muscle have brains. You take that out, you can destroy the people. Internalized WS, thinking that backseat boogie is better than getting married, marry before you carry, and having a family. Now, for you single brothers out there with no kids, keep doing your thing. If that's your choice. If you want kids one day, I don't suggest you do it with one of these old little sack chasing ratchet hoochie mamas. I rather you get a good woman who actually wants to be that. Because you know you got all this strong and independent out here. All I'm saying is this: make great decisions. Not good ones, great ones. and don't get pushed around. Chaos Reign, Mayan King. What's going on? Mayan King says black men show no mercy to those who disrespect you. What I'm saying is, if they have a problem with you, just go ahead and do it twice as hard. The thing is, they're not giving you any chances. Most of the black people that you're surrounded with that have that internalized WS don't want to give you a chance. They don't want to give you a fair shake. That's a sad, harsh reality. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because they're just like the white people that I've dealt with in my life. They want to be right. This need to be right. They have to be right about certain things. They need it to be their reality. And if they're blatantly wrong, you're wrong for calling them out. Plus, they don't value what you say at all. It doesn't matter if it's the truth. If they disagree with it, they don't value it. They got to hear some numbnut on CNN say it. They'll fight you tooth and nail and be blatantly wrong. I told black men, do it twice as hard. Whatever problems would they have with this space, do it twice as hard. Because they also, as much as they hate us having the relationship conversation, they also have the relationship conversation. They just want that conversation the way they want it. They want us like they really want the black men in the black manosphere to treat the opposite sex like a bunch of Mary Sues. This whole myth of white womanhood. No, you're not getting that from me. Don't come over here. You're not getting that from me. Or if any black man cares about you, sorry, they shouldn't give it to you either. I'm not going to treat you like a Mary Sue. Let me define Mary Sue for you. It is a female that is perfect and without flaws. I know Mary Sue sounds like a white name, but that was the intent. A lot of y'all look at white women like they're perfect. Just like I had that whole rant on men earlier, how gross, nasty they are, and how you shouldn't feel inferior to that, even though daddy might have left them a trust fund. Same thing goes like that's that same thing I employ sisters with these white women. Now I know y'all want to join in with. I know y'all want to join pinkies with them, and oh my God, you're my sister and feminism and blah blah blah. No, you should not do that. But of course, y'all been doing it for decades. So what the fuck am I saying something now in 2022 for? You're not gonna admit it, shit. Cynthia G ain't gonna admit she had a lot of white girlfriends growing up in Washington. My personal experience. Fuck you. And that's all of them over there. All of them. Not just her. Oh, Miller Lite sure is tasty. It says a fine Pilsner beer. I don't know what the fuck Pilsner means. I'll Google it later. All I know is it's Miller Lite. And then, oh, here comes the snarky motherfucker. You're drinking one Miller Lite. I'm halfway through this motherfucker. I don't feel shit. It's my first one. And, you know, I don't knock them back like that. I don't know. I'm sure that marijuana comment will come up later. But yeah, I don't give a fuck. I think just I stand by everything I say in these broadcasts. So if anyone has any questions, leave them in the comment section. Ray from Star Wars' definition of Mary Sue. Yep. Boy, that pissed off so many feminists. I don't even see why black women want to sign up with feminism. Like, it's such a joke. It's so corny. I mean, I mean, seriously, I could explain why it's corny, but I mean, somebody better qualified could explain it better than I can because I have nothing but insults. I mean, I admit to my flaws. Hey, I'm gonna be an asshole about it. I don't believe that if someone is being adversarial, I don't believe you should respect that person. I think respect is out the window. You know, did all this be the bigger person crap? People who are teaching you that are making fun of you. That's cruel reality. That's a cruel fucking reality. Sorry, some of you can't accept that. A person that always constantly tells you to be the bigger person is making fun of you. You know why? Because you'll never see that person correct a person on the other side of that. You'll see them pamper and pacify that person before you see any correction. And the reality to a lot of that is you might be the person that's actually in the wrong. Or you might actually be in the right, but the other person is too weak on the other side to handle it. Either way, don't listen to a person telling you to be the bigger person. That's some Florida Evans ass shit. That is not reality. The reality is you have to punish the assholes. You have to punish the dick faced bitches. You gotta punish all the motherfuckers. Because if you keep letting them slide, it's gonna get worse. And worse and worse and worse and worse. See what y'all saying down here. Cortez Smith, damn. This one BW at work told me her friend has a white boyfriend. He calls her the N word and she won't leave because he pays the bill. SMH LOL. Well, too bad for that bitch. I mean, shit, if you want to sit up there and say that white is better, then yeah, you by all means, white must be fucking better. I mean, shit, if that's what you consider better. I mean, you'd be surprised that I did a story a while back on a girl who had a fetish like that. You know, wanted white dudes to call them the N word. Mm, mm, mm. Well, all right. Hopefully I've been able to tell y'all enough about this topic right here, in order to get a certain message across. I mean, this is always up for replay. Yeah, I do understand if a few people that listened tonight did not too much so agree with whatever content this was, but you know, I got very little to do with that. And the only thing that I can do is give you my point of view, and you can debunk it or try to at least. But let me talk about my show Monday night. There was a kind of a, I don't know, kind of a documentary skit type movie called Diary of a Tired Black Man. Um, what I'm going to do is I'm I watched it a while back. I kind of skimmed through it, but I'm gonna watch it again, and I'm gonna see if how well the movie aged. I would say. I mean, I think it came out back in like 2009, 2010, something like that. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And but from what I can tell about the film itself and what I can remember, like things haven't gotten that much better. In fact, things are worse. But I just believe that it will probably be a fun topic to discuss. I mean, for those of you who are constantly annoyed by the fact that black men know how to get together and discuss things that we may have an issue with. That movie was trying to say this shit a long time ago. So just take a look at the screen. This is the movie that I am referring to that I will be going over on Monday. And just like I said, to see whatever is said in this film, see how much of it actually applies to the current social media landscape. Because from the from what I see in this film, there's a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels. So yeah, we're gonna check it out. Hopefully, I could fair use some of the clips, girls. But this is actually the perfect movie to discuss within the space. So that's coming Monday night. Tomorrow night, I'm probably gonna try to go for, I don't know, pissing the haters off again. I don't want to get into saying haters so much because I do believe people use that word to try to give themselves some relevance. But I mean, it is what it is. If you're a black man in this space, someone somewhere hates you, and that's a really and I'm even talking about like the moderators, like the non-content creators that participate on the panels. I mean, shit is like it's someone somewhere just does not like you for dumbass fucking reasons. But that's just what it is. At the end of the day, and you have to understand that there's a lot of internalized WS that's running around. And the one thing that you can do is that acknowledge that it is a problem among us as a people. It's not so much of a problem per se with just one group within us. Like it, I mean, just think about it. And like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, it doesn't have anything to do with who you're having sex with. It doesn't. Depending on your attitude about who you're having sex with, if you believe that being with another race is better just because it's another race, that might be a little internalized WS. But if you basing that person on the way they treat you and what you're getting out of the connection is something that is good, great, awesome, then I'm in full support of that. But at the end of the day, it's all your business. So just for the sake of conversation, that's not what I'm talking about. Who you're having sex with. This is not a dick policing broadcast. This is basically what I'm telling you is like there's a lot of other shit to worry about when it comes to internalized WS. So, all right. So that'll be pretty much it for tonight. Um, shoot, hopefully, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Depending on the situation, that goes on from day to day. But um, hold it down on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. And yeah, I've gotten back to doing a little video editing too. So be looking forward to that kind of stuff. Starting to drop the videos and restarting being BBH News. Just some exciting stuff coming up, or the stuff that I should already be doing for you guys. But definitely, thank you for subbing, moderators. Thank you for helping me out in the chat. And thank you guys for tuning in. Long live the habitual line steppers. And Kev, we trust. Till the next time. Peace.